Uh, Very good evening, everybody. Very good evening, Dr. Swati Nandi Chakraborty, our today's guest. She is an
Good evening.
environmental scientist, and today again we are here, and this is our episode two, talk show episode two on World Environment Day. We are celebrating World Environment Day, and actually, the celebration of World Environment Day is very much like necessary in today's context. So it's a very much like a live theme and very much important for today. So we have to know so many things we should know, and we have some queries as well. So yes, myself, Dr. Tulika Chakraborty. I am a census program officer, Bangavashi Morning College. So welcome again, madam, to our show. And now
Namaskar.
we have the host. Yeah. So welcome all to our session, to our live session. So and we have two hosts today. One is Mr. Chandan Roy. He is an SS volunteer, Bangavashi Morning College,
Okay.
and one is Shomi Mukherjee. So there is some problem to was like on the side of Shomi, so she can't join now. So I would like to request Chandan Roy, Mr. Chandan Roy, to
Yes, ma'am.
carry over the session, and so let's start our session today, and you can carry on. Over to Chandan.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you are most welcome to our program, like talk series. Ma'am,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we will ask some questions regarding the Environment Day. The My first question is: do you think the people should recycle the newspaper,
See,
ma'am?
first of all, going to start with the yes. Is it audible? Yeah.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I
Yes, yes,
audible?
is it? Yes, of
Yes,
course,
ma'am.
it is.
Yeah. First of all, starting with the Environmental Day discussion, I should first to introduce everyone of this year theme of Environmental Day. So that is the restorations of planet. So this restorations of planet of this year theme has been decided by UNP. And here we are discussing about these things and we are celebrating of that particular keeping on mind. And now we have to restore, like there are the different ways to restore, that how we can restore that practice we need to make it in like different way. We have to make practice in our life. And now I'm taking your questions, like you are asking that the environmental solutions, the recycling of what, like Chandan, just repeat your questions.
Chandan, please ask
Yes,
again.
just repeat.
What is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
question?
Yes, ma'am. Do you think people should recycle the newspaper? Why and why not?
See, people should recycle the newspaper. It is the way, like we are using the papers in a different way. Like we cannot replace the paper in our every like in the markets. Like whenever we are using the plastic, we always prefer that like all the environmental activists and everyone are imposing that to use the paper bag and to use the cloth bag. So there the not to use the basically the plastics, that is our motto. Like obviously there the particular source of paper is there, but the paper is also, like when it is made, it is using the different plant. So there are also the cutting of the plant is also relates on that way. So we have to make a particular measure use of that paper also. So I'll always prefer not to use the plastic, but that can be replaced by a different way. Not that we need to use the paper only. There are the different way that we can use the cloth bag, we can use the jute bag. So all the things can be replaced through there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am,
Am I
next
clear?
question
Is
is,
it audible?
Yeah, is it clear?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question is, what are the things that can be recycled?
That can be recycled.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
What are the
like see,
things
like
that
in
can be
if we are
recycled?
just thinking about, hmm, see, like if we are thinking from our daily using patterns, what we are using every day, so we should first think on that aspects. Like in every day in our house, what are the things we are using, what we can recycle or what we can reuse rather. Like see, like in everywhere we are using the plastic bottles. Like wherein about if you find in anywhere any house, so you can find one plastic bottles from there, so you can
Yes,
replace that plastic bottles to there to by using just cut that plastic bottles and pour some soils over there and hang it and just made it a particular bottles in a tub and do some seeds sow some seeds over there, and you can do the planting of that particular use. So that is the use of using the plastic bottles whatever is there in our house, that we can reuse. And there are the different things we have in our like in daily whatever we are using. Suppose in previously there was the concept of using the CD, and there are the using of the different types of like the computers, so that can also be replaced in different part of the India as a tub, so we can make a turf out of that. So see that we need to find out that what make the pollutions in our house, so we have to segregate on that way, that what we wants to reuse. So first that we need to make that what are the source pollution is creating in your house, or it is in the college or in the institute or in the industry. So based on that we need to find out the solutions. Like we cannot generalize the whole portions. So for the generalized purpose, we can think that we have to like reuse and the recycle, that keep that theme we have to keep in the mind. So there are the energy conservation. So that is also a kind of way we can save the earth. So like reusing and the recycle part, we need to think like how the different see, like previously when we was very young, that time our generally the grandmothers and they are making the clothes katha by
yes, ma'am.
using the old sharis and all that. So that was
Yes,
the very old concept we have. We know in our traditions that to how to reuse the things. So but we need to find out that what are the sources we are wasting. So based on that we have to keep on innovatively thinking that what can be reused.
yes, ma'am. Exactly. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question is, what are the types of pollution is there?
See, in our society, there are the different pollution. As you know, there are the air pollution is the basic source of air pollution. And as we are now thinking about the coronavirus, but if I'm giving you the data, then you can just be astonished that every year there are also the lakhs and lakhs pupils are also caused the death due to the air pollutions. But how many of you are thinking about this, the air pollutions? And there are the in a developing country like in India, there are the lots of causing the death due to the water pollutions. Lots of diseases being happened, like cause to death, leads to death, because they don't have that sort of medications due to the water pollution. It causes a different area have blocked in the time of the rainy seasons, so it contaminated in different way the water pollutions too. So there are the sound pollution is there in the time of puja and all that time we heard about that the government are implementing, and government every year are giving us the definite decibels to use to play and to use that particular sound. So there are the lots of different types of pollution is there. Now we have to think that in which part of the society, that which particular pollutions we have to keep in our control. So it is also vary area to area, that in it may be in a rural part there the some water pollution is causing, but not that much of the sound pollution. So it's varying. So but we have to be conscious about this sort of pollution aspects.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Shomi is there now, and Shomi Mukherjee. She is NSS volunteer, Bangabashi Morning College. Shomi, your video is not clear actually. So
Hello.
welcome, Shomi. Yes, hello, Shomi.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello.
Uh,
Hello, ma'am.
yes, yes. Hi, Shomi. Would you
Hello,
like to
ma'am.
ask some question? Hello, hi. You are audible. You are audible, Shomi. Yes, but your background is quite dark, so you are not visible properly.
Yes, ma'am. This phone camera is not good enough.
Okay, okay, not nothing to worry.
And my
So
other phone
Chandan,
has some
you
problems.
just
Okay, you can
you just
continue. Can hear you
huh.
properly. Yes,
Chandan,
it is
you
audible.
can carry on. Chandan, you can carry on. After you, Shomi will ask.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, my fourth question is that is how can we prevent? How can we help the people to prevent from the pollution? How can we prevent the from help to prevent from the pollution?
See, that is extremely, we need to spread the awareness. That is for like we are celebrating like the World Environment Day, and every day we will not enforcing that only to celebrations of World Environment Day is the awareness what we are imparting for the society. Like it is, we have to practice in our daily life to save environment. Like to save environment means that just to mention that like how much we are saving the energy in our house only, that we have to calculate, we have to be carefully, we have to be like strictness on the particular area, that how much the electricity is coming due to the uses of us we are consuming. That according to the last report it is estimated that 20% of the world populations are using the 80% nature's total things. So you can imagine only the 20%, if you can consider the populations, that is only consuming, that is over exploiting the 80% of the natural resources. So now you can think about that, what are the way we are like polluting our society, and that the practice we have to bring in our daily life, that to switch off the light, that to like keep the less use of the air conditions wherever necessity. It is not only, we cannot say that it is just only the luxury. Now it is become a necessity to everyone else, and now you are seeing that due to the lockdown effect there are also the air quality index, it is reducing, or the carbon footprints is also get less in our air, so that we cannot import like the that you don't use your transport or you don't use your car, we cannot say like that. But like now we are having that sort of practice in the developed country, they are also using like to switch over to the like use of one car, but the many peoples can get in a particular car. So like they are importing the different mechanism for to keeping in mind only the thing to reduce the air quality index. And there are the few issues are still there in our society, that the stubble burning, and that is in the rural area, that in Delhi side also, that is like the main source of the air pollutions it is causing in the air, due to the burning of the grasses, that is the wastage part of the like land. So that also add equally the air pollution, so that we have to keep spreading the awareness to the farmers, to the general people, like what to do and what not to do, like as much as possible. It is not that we can do it wholly, but we can start better, that to deny the few things of which can cause harm to our environments. That is, as we have started with the discussions of the banning the plastics and all that thing, so how much that will be possible, that we will do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, next question is, what is the most important, increasing people's standard of living or the protecting the environment?
See,
Can I
obviously,
repeat once
the
again?
we cannot say like that standard of living will. No, no, no. I understand your question. That which is ultimately the priority, the standard of living or the environments. So obviously, we have to think friendly approach. Like see, like there are the different smart city concepts are coming. So the smart city means that we are developing our society, we are becoming more developed. So there are the smart different approaches are coming, but still we are thinking about what are the eco-friendly approach can be impart on that. So the source segregations, as you know that in every like house are generating lots of solid waste. So if we just segregating the waste from the source itself, so that can help the municipalities and urban local people to handle the waste properly. So like this type of practice, though we are developing, we are becoming more smarter. We are like now the particular the eco-socio environments is become more developed. So there we can impart this type of few practice that can help us to become eco-friendly.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, Now I request to Shomi can to ask questions. Am I audible to Shomi?
Show
Or
me.
I would have also one presentation.
Hello,
So
ma'am.
Yes,
if
yes.
you
I like
wish,
to
I can
ask.
also so in between of that.
Am I
Yeah,
audible?
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, show
Yeah,
me. You
yeah,
are
it's audible.
audible.
I like to ask most important issue facing the environment today.
Yes. Can you repeat?
Show me. Can you repeat?
Ma'am.
There must be some
Yes, ma'am.
internet
Yes. Can you repeat once?
Which
network
is
glitches.
most important issue
Mhm.
facing the environment today?
See, there are lots of issues are there. As I said, like if we start from the air pollutions to the water pollution to the sound pollutions, like for the environment, we have to address everything. We cannot say it is not the very important issue. Like as you know, like few minutes back, I was discussing about the 5G effects on the environment. So is there really we are thinking about that? Like we all of us are using the computer, we are using the mobile, we are trying to connect everyone like in every moment, like not to we are losing the second also. So the connections, we everyone we require to have a good connection. So obviously the technology is important, 5G is important, but how the thing is being affecting us. So that also the particular study that is called the environment impact assessments are required. So that is the true, like it is also radiating the few like the radiations to us. So how we can control that, that we have to think how we can control that to address that issues. There are lots of issues are there. We cannot just to like say this is only the important issue of the environment, because as we are observing like few from the last few years, there are the like different types of cyclonic things are coming repeatedly. So we can also find out that what is the reason behind of that, why it is arising. So there are the lots of direct and indirect effects of the environments. Obvious is there that relates the climate change, that relates with also the different type of climatic issues that indirectly we have to address.
I think Show me has some network glitches. So would you please, if you like
Thank
to,
you, ma'am.
if you like to present your slides and all, so you can, madam, in the mean.
Yes, ma'am.
You can present your slides.
Yeah, sure. Just give
Yes,
me
yes.
1 minute.
Yeah, of course.
Is it visible?
No, 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 not it.
Now it's visible?
No,
Is it visible?
no, no, now it's showing. Yes, now it's visible.
Okay.
Make it
So
full
like,
screen. Yeah.
yeah, like I want to just mention, you that what is the life cycle thinking, like as you people have started asking me that what can be the pollutions and what are the major affecting. So I think that these particular slides will help we or us to understand the most effective way to reduce the waste is to not to create it in the first place. Like whenever we are seeing the waste like it is generating in our house, that we have to think like we have to reduce that, the from the first place, that when it is like making the particular point there we have to reduce. So for that, what are the things are necessary? That is the rethink, reuse, repair, and reduce, and replace and recycle. So like that way, we need to think that the life cycle assessment. So what is the rethink? The product and its functions. Like for example, the product may be used more efficiently, like the way how we are utilizing the different source in our house, we can use repeatedly on that particular bag or on that particular things. So that is the rethink. And then the reuse, like the different design, as you say, as we was discussing about the air conditions, like in our house we are using the air conditions. See, there the different companies, the this manufacturer companies, they are also thinking about the design part. They're importing the different chemicals that to not to release the chlorofluorocarbons in the market. That is the part of the reuse and the redesigning the part. And that is the repair, that is make the product easy to repair, that is the via modules that can be easily changed. And that is the reduce energy, that is the material consumptions and the socio-economic impact throughout the products of the life cycles, that we need to think. And then the replace. So as I said, if I cannot replace anything, is that use that thing, replace with that thing with the natural force, by like all of us are thinking about and are possible to recycle. So this is the life cycle thinking. Some data I'm showing you. In 2014, the per capita global footprint was 2.8 gigahectares. So now you can consider that how the biocapacity we are using from the earth, and that cause the ecological footprint. And this ecological footprint is basically the also leads to the CO2 emissions to our society. And here, the next, if you can see, there are the benefits of reducing and the reusing part, how we can get the benefits from there. Like it prevents the pollutions which caused by reducing the specifically that how the raw materials we are using, what are the raw materials, from where using, and it also help us to save the energy and also reduces the greenhouse gas emissions. Ultimately, these greenhouse gas emissions are contributing the global climatic change, and that helps to sustain the environment for future generations. So this allows the products to be used to their fullest extent. So now the concept of that this is the waste, how we can recover, how we can reduce, how we can recycle, and how we are using, that ultimately leads the productions of new product. So that thinking, that innovations we have to make it, that how we can produce from waste the new product by different types of textile things or the batteries or the electronic waste, how we can make the reuse of that or develop the new product, that we need to think. And globally, if you see that the pictures is that there are the more than 2 billion tons of waste is generated around the world every year, and disposing of it presents a huge challenge. So this is basically not only the challenge for the developed country, also the developing country. They're also thinking about this. And if you see, this is overview of Indian scenario. India generates 62 million tons of waste each year. So it is not a very mere. So there are the 43 million tons of 70% are collected, and which about the 12 million tons are treated, and 31 million tons are dumped in landfill sites. So this is the factor we need to think, like from this 31 million. So how we can how we can generate the resource out of it. The Global E-Waste Monitor, a collaboration between the International Telecommunications Union and the United Nations University, they are estimated generated 1.975 million tons. You can think the particular per capita waste generations, and there are the every like this type of ASOCHAM and the different commerce chamber commerce industry, they are making the particular calculations, and it's a huge calculations. So there are the unsustainable pattern of productions and the consumptions are going on. So which ultimately generates the waste. And if you just see the figures, then it is devastating that estimated quantity of waste collected the worldwide is between 2.5 and the 4 billion metric tons. So like now, so what is the use? Then what is this like the thinking that what today we are doing? That is to make the 3 R's. 3 R's, that is the recycle, reuse, and also obviously that how we are reduce the things. That is offer an environment friendly alternatives to deal with the growing generations of waste, and is related the impact on the human health, economy, and natural ecosystems. So these are the things, the how the manufacturing process, consumptions, and the discarding the thing. Then from there we are doing the treatment. Few things we are landfilling, that creates the direct pattern of the waste generations in that nature. So these are the factors we need to consider, where the stages of the product life cycle assessments are very important, that extractions of natural resources, how we are processing the resources, and how you are distributing the things. So that is very important. So these are the assessment are very necessary to do it right now from each and every point of area, like from the institute, from the industry, from house. So that called the eco-friendly approach. So reduce the energy intensity, as I was discussing, and maximize the use of renewable resources. So that we need to think of using the solar power and other recycling of the like rainwater harvesting. So these are the things we are in imparting into our particular areas. So there are also the transiting the more resource efficient economy is all around the world, which is called the circular economy. So there was the one-way economy, that extraction, resource, waste generations, and this disposals. More resource efficient economy, in that case we are generating the different way of reusing and the recycling, and closed loop there will be no like the zero waste. So that is the thing which is the new concept coming on the market. So that is the world recycling rate. So what are the country are recycling in which rate? So we are the India at the very less recycling on that area. So we are not keeping in the mark. So there are the annual recycling impact. So energy savings, greenhouse gas emissions, solid waste reductions, hazardous waste reductions, air emissions, water emissions. So all this area we can do the impact through the recycling any product. So these are the things we need to keep in mind. And there are also the pupils on the natural resources, as I was discussing few minutes back. And there the recycling can also help the conserve the natural resources too. Like we need to, whenever we are buying something, so we need to be very measured. So use item as long as you can and ask yourself if you really need something new, and really reduce the excess packaging. So drink the tap water instead of water from plastic bottles, and recycling the materials such as the metal cans, old cell phones, plastic bottles. Purchase the products made from the recycling materials. So that will alternatively helps to the environment, prevent soil erosions to grow plants, new trees, replace those that are cut down, and drive the car less. And it is, we know that it is very impossible because we all are like in every individuals now are having a individual car. So but we have to keep on practice or make the practice to be done. And there the public transportations and the bicycles use or the walking have to be more to to give the less or the less pollutions to the air pollutions to make. And we have to also think about the conservations of energy at home too, as I said, the turning out the lights when they are not needed, and turn off the laptops, as we are now very digitally attached nowadays due to the pandemic, due to the lockdown situations. And the sustainable trade in the resource, global material flows, circularity and trade, United Nations Environment Program, you can check. There are the different billions and billions of the tons of waste we're generating. And now we can think about that, what is the life cycle assessment? So what is that? So do you know how much energy is used to prepare a cup of coffee, or how much water is used to produce your t-shirt? So that is the thinking, that we need to think on that way, that from the source when it is ended, that how much cost is required, or how much energy, that in terms of energy we need to calculate everything. So ultimately that's alternatively use the land, use the water, use the energy, and which affects the climate at all. So now we have to switch on to the green business, obviously green business model. And there are the eco leveling. We are everyone, we are trying to see that it is an eco mark is there or not, eco friendly approach is there or not. So we have to be more impart on the economic, or kind of, you can say, that is the eco-friendly approach of the development of the new product or the raw materials. So these are the things giving us the material efficiency and energy efficiency, water efficiency, green supply chain, and industry code of the practice. So what can we achieve with this green environment? Obviously, we will reduce the pollutions, will mitigate the global warming that we have targeted very all the targets we have met, but still we are very far from there. So resources scarce, be it renewable or the non-renewable, by adopting the environmentally friendly products, inhabitants or Mother Earth can replenish the resource and create viable futures. So this is our main objective. So I think I can share the few thoughts with, I'm able to share the few thoughts with you. So now we can switch on our the next discussions part. So
Thank you so much, Dr. Swati. And the PPT is like presentations. Hopefully, everybody, those who are there, can understand well your PPT through your PPT. Though there is some question also, and actually, I have one more. I have question show me if you would like
Mhm.
to ask question first, or am I, with your permission? Because today's host to
Okay, ma'am.
both of you. Show me.
Hello, ma'am.
Hopefully you have. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Hopefully now the
yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
audible. Yeah.
okay. So show me. Can you ask some
Yes, ma'am. The
question?
first question is yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first
Uh,
question here is ours from RC. He asking, is there any plan to recycle a used mask or to
dispose it. Uh, Arzu,
dispose, ma'am?
Arzu,
I am,
Arzu asked
yeah,
this
yeah,
question.
I'm seeing this
Ma'am,
question. Is there
that
any
is
plan to recycle a
Prolay.
used mask or to dispose it?
Dispose it.
Okay. So see, the mask obviously nowadays it is adding a extra additions of the solid waste in our society. That mask and PPE kit that the doctors they are using regularly in particular in hospitals. But before thinking on that, you need to like in the pandemic situation, you have to be very conscious about the virus spreading natures. So as we when we think about the used mask, and that mask can carry also the different source of viruses, no, like in case of this corona time the many coronaviruses are also there. So whenever we will think about that, we have to be go treatment procedure on that. So that pp how to we can treat, we can reuse that particular treatment is going on the particular segments on the biomedical waste management treatment facility of the India. But still there is a infrastructures is not very stable infrastructure is there where we can accumulate all that particular things from the different parts of the hospital, and there we can treat all those things, then we can reuse that portions. That facility is still not being developed in our area. So but in near future obviously that is the aim of the country, because these are the things are being coming in our stream in the river and also in the water of the pond, so that is creates a additional waste to there also. So obviously this should not be done. Whenever we will use the mask, we have to use it, and after using the mask, we have to keep it untouched in our home for the 72 hours in a paper, because this particular mask also we are wearing in outside. So when we are going outside, their virus are the chances to come on the surface of the mask. So if we are just coming in inside in the home and using that mask here and there and keeping that mask here and there, no, that will also spread the virus in our home itself. So it is better when we are coming outside from the from outside, we are using the mask. That mask we have to keep it in a particular folder, in a paper folder, attached for the 72 hours. Then we can mix it in our solid waste or wherever we want to spread.
Uh, Hopefully, actually, this was also my question as well. So, in today's pandemic time, that everybody likes it, there must be must like awareness, more and more awareness. People must be aware. They wear masks. Where they dispose the mask, where they dispose the PP kit and all.
Exactly.
And then we can see everywhere here and there they are throwing, like we are throwing marks like here and there. We can see also in the roads. So marks are throwing like that only.
Mhm.
They so though I think there must be some
Mhm.
awareness regarding this disposal system also. so that we can like proceed with the things. People know how
Exactly.
to use mask, but people don't know how to dispose mask. They are We are just doing,
How to
not they are,
how to
we
dispose.
are just,
Exactly.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
the
So
thing
this
I require.
disposal thing is today's main criteria. I think the disposal thing, where they dispose and where we dispose the masks, and then how can it be recycled as well. That recycling of, I
Exactly.
think,
And how much, like all the masks are not reusable. That also we have to keep on our mind
we
that
must know.
all the masks
Yes.
are not reusable. Yeah,
No,
so
no.
that
And
portions also we have to keep in mind, because these are also the public health issues that also like indirectly will help us to prevent the pandemic situations, or to virus spreading natures can be also prevented. Like
yes,
these are the very silly
today,
practice, but if we can just practice these are
exactly.
the things.
Now we are like, there are some laws, like rules, that we have to use two masks together. So if everybody like
Exactly.
using
Too
two
much.
marks to give
Yes.
double marks, then can we imagine where we dispose all of these things? So we have to think about this, and awareness. We need awareness things. But because we don't know how to dispose it. Where is the
And
disposal
proper
thing? And
disposals. Proper
yes,
disposals.
yes, of course. And so that's why we need that
And
awareness things.
like you can dispose them, but not the directly. Like whenever you are using the mask and that mask only you are throwing into the dustbin, no, that should not be, and it is strictly prohibited.
Exactly.
So whenever we have to use the mask, that we after using the mask we have to keep it in a paper folding on that particular mask for to untouched for the 72 hours, so that that virus will not be give life. So untouched, that's why I'm telling. And it, you have to keep that thing in outreach of your children if it is there in the home, so they should not touch also that mask whatever you are using. So in,
Exactly,
if you go
exactly.
outside in
Yeah.
markets or to doing any
Uh,
markets in
um,
bazaar, everywhere,
yes, yes,
because
yes,
we
of
don't
course.
know that from where the source will come, no.
दिस इज अ वेरी यूजफुल एक्चुअली, वेरी यूजफुल फैक्ट एक्चुअली. सो मैं इसे हिंदी में भी बोलना चाहूंगी, क्योंकि हमारे कुछ मतलब हमारे जो ये नेशनल है, नेशनल पेज है, सो बहुत सारे हिंदी स्पीकिंग लोग भी इसको फॉलो करते हैं. सो मैं इसे ये यहाँ तक पहुंचाना चाहती हूँ, जो जो मैडम ने कहा कि हमारे जो यूज मास्क हैं उनको हमको क्या करना चाहिए. उनको हमें पेपर में रैप करके 72 घंटे के लिए उसको अलग से रखना होगा, अनटच्ड, बिल्कुल अनटच रखना होगा. ना कि हम उसको इधर उधर फेंके और या फिर इधर उधर रख दें. उसे हमें पेपर में रैप करके फिर उसे उसको 72 घंटे 72 आवर्स तक उसको हमको अनटच रख के फिर हमें उसको डिस्पोज करना है डस्टबिन में. तो आप सभी से यही हमारा ये अवेयरनेस है
Exactly.
प्रोग्राम. ये एक्चुअली हमारा जो टॉक शो है ये अवेयरनेस के लिए ही है. और अगर हम अवेयर होते हैं इससे किसी भी भाषा के माध्यम से, तो हमें अवेयर होना होगा. और इसी अवेयरनेस के माध्यम से अगर हम लोग इसे समझ में आए हमें कि मास्क को कैसे हम लोग डिस्पोज करेंगे, और किस तरह से हम मास्क, जो पीपी किट भी होते हैं, अगर आप बोली मैडम, अगर जो पीपी किट और जो कि ग्लोव्स होते हैं, ग्लोव्स को भी हम देखते हैं कि इधर उधर लाइक ऐसे ही फेंके होते, तो उन सभी का ही आई थिंक सो कि डिस्पोजल जो है वो ऐसे ही इसी तरह से
सभी
हॉस्पिटल.
ऐसे भी कैप होते हैं ना.
वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग.
ऐसे ही
उनको
यूज
भी
करना चाहिए, या कैप भी
हाँ,
ऐसे ही यूज करना चाहिए. कैप भी कहीं भी फेंकना नहीं है चाहिए.
बिल्कुल. तो जिस तरह से जैसे भी हो हमें ये, क्योंकि अगर हम इसको फेंकते हैं तो फिर कोई दूसरा पर्सन इससे इन्फेक्टेड होगा, फिर उससे और कुछ दूसरे लोग इन्फेक्टेड होंगे. इस तरह से तो इन्फेक्शन जो है ऐसे ही, क्योंकि आज जो ये सेकेंड वेव है वो अपने पीक पर है.
चलते
सेकेंड
ही
वेव का
जाएगा.
जो वो
एग्जैक्टली.
बढ़ता ही जाएगा. उसको कम कैसे करें? तो उसको कम करने के लिए हमें क्या करना है, हमें इसको अच्छे से डिस्पोज भी करना है. हमारे जो यूज मास्क होते हैं, जो हमारे यूज जो डिस्पोजल जो पीपी किट्स होते हैं, जो ग्लोव्स होते हैं, जो हमारा हेयर कैप्स होता है, जो कि हम हॉस्पिटल्स वगैरह में हम लोग जा रहे हैं, हम लोग वैक्सीन ले रहे हैं, एकदम हमें वैक्सीन लेना है, लेकिन साथ में हमें इसका भी ध्यान रखना होगा कि किस तरह से हम सभी चीजों को डिस्पोज करें। जो मैडम ने कहा कि हमें उन सभी चीजों को पेपर में रैप करके फिर उसे 72 घंटे के लिए अलग से रखना होगा, फिर उसके बाद हम उसको डिस्पोज करेंगे प्रॉपरली। तो ये जो चीज है ये बहुत ही कामकारी चीज है, जिससे कि हम चीजों को हमें हमेशा इसको दिमाग में रखना है। शोमी, यू कैन कैरी ऑन, ओवर टू यू।
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, what can large
Hmm.
cities do to improve their air qualities?
See, the large cities are improving the air qualities in different way. As I was discussing, like in that cases, like city Delhi or the country, like they are importing the laws, or they are just like minimizing the use of the transport. Like whenever we are using the transport mode, that obvious that will like release the carbon particles and the carbon dioxide, the few gaseous particles that will mix air. So if we just not to just think about the source, and if you keep on using the more and more transportations, then it will add no. And there are also the great issue I was discussing, that is the stubble burning. Like to like we have the fear of the farmers that to not to use the like the on that way to burn the stubble is very dangerous. Like like the totally in the time of November to January, February, the air quality index of Delhi and in around Kolkata also, there in the different parts of the Bengal in the rural side. If you go to the, I have seen like in the Delhi road towards that. So there are the few peoples in the time of the winter, they are just burning the few things in the roadsides. So that creates a huge air pollution. So we have to avoid the people that don't do this sort of things, that to use of the and the, in the time of constructions of the road, that using the melting of the pitch, it is a danger causing of the disease. But the technologies comes in the market, so they are just import particularly, so will develop. So that technology we have to be also bring the new technology for that development.
Show me your next question. Do you have any question? Uh, Sahil Ansari suggested that we can use the
I'll say
electronic cases.
one thing, like obviously it is a good source, and the government is using the electronic vehicles. The numbers is also increasing, but the thing is that there are also the different way that the problem are there to charging the electronic bus and everything. But we have to think alternatively, that how we can like increase that number, so that technology already comes in the market, so the people are using that. So different state already using that thing, and in our we have seen the electronic buses are going on.
Exactly. Exactly. Actually, resources, we have to conserve our resources, our natural resources. So,
Exactly.
yeah, for conserving
And
those
when we are talking
resources,
about the environment, there obviously we have to do the practice of planting the tree. Like
of
always we
course,
are depending on the government, that government will how many trees they are planting after Dampan, but we never think that how many tree we have planted from last year to till date. So how many tree we have maintained. So we have planted so many, but it is not maintaining. That sometimes back, like the few trees had died. So that we have to make and practice, like and we have to make our children to aware that to how to make the practice of surviving the plant. Like that is also the things that we should learn, make learn, that to keep the seeds, that to plants regularly, monitor the plants, what the changes the plants are coming. So that is very important. As I was discussing with you also, that a different cyclonic effect is coming. So there are the in-house plant. There we can use the tulsi plants, and there the environments, like as the time we are staying in the home. So the home environments also matters. So we can plant the tulsi plant, we can use the kulekhara plant, we can use the different a small type of one as a indica, which is called the neem. Neem also can be planted in a small pot in our house, so that can purify our air. So that will give you the antibacterial properties, like the medicinal plant. Not only it is also a medicinal plant, we know that have that medicinal property, and it also can trap the different types of gaseous, the carbon monoxides and everything which are there, the bad gases in the environment. So that can also be causing. So we have to make that practice to plant more in our in-house plant or use in-house plant our houses. So that will make alternatively. So ये तो
Exactly, Dr. Swati. Actually, last Earth Day, we have celebrated Earth Day by planting, I think, more than 50 saplings, tulsi saplings, and kulekhara and all. In this pandemic time, like colleges are closed and educational institutions are closed, so we have planned for planting
exactly.
those saplings in our houses, in our, so each and every volunteer has been like planted those trees, those saplings, tulsi or kulekhara or some
Yes,
medicinal
we
plant.
can make a
So
vote on 4th June. Yes, we can make a vote on 4th June from this forum, that the 5th June, everyone who will plant or who will come in touch with a particular plant or a tree and make a visual, that photo on their social media page. So that, like through that, we can aware the people. Like we are taking the photo with our pet. We must take the photo with the plant itself,
with our
whatever is
plant,
there. So
yes,
that we need to bring a
yes,
practice. Yeah,
it's a great idea.
so that
It's a
we can
great
make it
idea,
the
yeah.
oath that this is on the environment day. We'll make a photo with a plant and give to our social media, post it on our social media, that
Ekdam.
this is we are keeping that for we are living.
That will be great inspiration as well, and we have put so many photos with the plants before, and again we will plant. So हाँ, सचमुच ये बहुत बड़ा एक उत्साहवर्धक कार्य है, और हम सभी को अपने अपने घरों में कुछ मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स जो सैपलिंग्स हैं उनको लगाना चाहिए, क्योंकि आज जो है पैंडेमिक के टाइम में हमको ये समझ में आ रहा है कि ऑक्सीजन की कितनी आवश्यकता है। आज हम सभी ऑक्सीजन के लिए सोचते हैं। ऑक्सीमीटर का जो ऑक्सीमीटर हम लोग पहले जानते तक नहीं थे, लेकिन हम सभी को अब ऑक्सीमीटर क्या है, इन सभी चीजों से हम काफी वाकिफ हो चुके हैं। ऑक्सीजन की कितनी आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि कितने लोग जो है बिना ऑक्सीजन के ही चले जा रहे हैं। सो हमें ऑक्सीजन मिलेगा कहाँ से? और अगर हम सारे ट्रीज को केवल खत्म करते रहेंगे तो हमें ऑक्सीजन कहाँ से मिलेगा? तो हमें इसका भी वो ये जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है हमारी अर्थ की तरफ, पृथ्वी तो हमें बहुत कुछ देती है, लेकिन हमने क्या दिया? हमारी तरफ से भी तो कुछ होना चाहिए। सो हमें जरूर से ये एक काम जरूर करना चाहिए। हमें कहीं ना कहीं, अगर घर में, घर के आंगन में अगर कोई छोटी सी जगह हो, वहां पे आप तुलसी प्लांट लगाएं, या फिर कुछ भी कोई भी प्लांट लगाएं जिसको कि आप पूरे ईयर उसको देख सके, इसकी देखभाल कर सके। और उसके साथ आप ये जो है ये
देखभाल
फोरम है
करें।
जहाँ पे सचमुच मैडम ने जो जो कहा कि हमें एक ओथ लेना चाहिए आज के दिन, कि इस ओथ में हमारा यही होगा कि हम सभी अपने घरों में एक प्लांट लगाएंगे, सैपलिंग लगाएंगे, और उसको पूरे साल उसके केयर करेंगे, जैसे कि हम अपने पेट्स के साथ, अपने बच्चों के साथ एफबी में फोटो डालते हैं, या फिर वैसे ही हम उस प्लांट के साथ फोटो डालेंगे, उसको भी हम अपने बच्चों की तरह ही उसको केयर करेंगे। और इस तरह से अगर हम सभी अगर इस तरह से सोचे, तो श्योर हमें ऐसा लगेगा, ऐसा एक दिन आएगा जबकि हमें ऑक्सीजन की कोई कमी महसूस नहीं होगी। सो थैंक यू मैडम, आपका ये
Sure.
आइडिया जो है ये बहुत, हाँ, दिस इज द प्लेटफॉर्म। सो इस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से हम आप सभी तक यही पहुंचाना चाहते हैं कि आज के दिन में ट्रीज कितने आवश्यक हैं. सो show me, would you like to
Yes, ma'am.
ask something? Yes, Sahil Ansari is asking
Yes,
something.
ma'am. There has yes, ma'am. There's a comment from Sahil Ansari. He is asking, is there
Is there
any
any?
method to stop that farmers are using various types of harmful and polluting organic fertilizers and pesticides?
Yes, so we can. We have a different way to stop that working of chemical utilizings of the pollutant. So we can stop by using the organic fertilizers or the biopesticides there, so that we can readily use. But before of that, we have to make our like the production system on that way. Like to stop using the chemical fertilizers, we have to also use the biopesticides more. And this biopesticides is a kind of things, or the biofertilizers is a kind of things which we can readily make through our utilizations of different microorganisms, which are the nitrate mixing organism, phosphate solubilizing organisms. So it is very readily can be used in our lab itself. So we can make that, we can develop, we can make a bio entrepreneur on that way. So we are expect from that forum also that people should come with that concept of the biofertilizers, biopesticides, that first you have to do the productions. Without the productions, how you can replace the chemical fertilizers? So for that, young entrepreneurs must come forward for that production itself, for the making of the biofertilizers. It is not very tough. We can make it very easily by very simple microbiological lab itself, and that productions of the biopesticides, biofertilizers can use on the market, and also the cultivated land replace the chemical fertilizers very easily. But we have to that mindset up, and we have to have that particular concept that to bring to develop that sort of entrepreneur skills among us to develop that sort of product. So then we can just do that thing, and that will be betterment for our society, because we know that chemical fertilizers creates really harmful to us. Not only the us, it is also creates harms to the different ecological impacts to the different like insects too. So it also loses the biodiversity. So we must go for the using of the biopesticides and the biofertilizers.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am. And next comment is from Imrose. And ও প্রশ্ন করছে, এখন আমরা দেখছি অক্সিজেনের ঘাটতি ঘটছে, কিন্তু আমার প্রশ্নটা হলো যে যারা কোভিড রোগী তাদের আলাদা করে অক্সিজেন দিতে হচ্ছে, কিন্তু বাতাসে যেই পরিমাণ অক্সিজেন আছে সেটা তো আমাদের জন্য ঠিকঠাক, কিন্তু তাহলে অক্সিজেনের এত প্রয়োজন কেন?
না, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে এখানে কিছু জিনিস যেটা আমরা দেখছি যে বাতাসে অক্সিজেন আছে অবশ্যই, কিন্তু যখন একজন কোভিড এফেক্টেড হয়, তার মলিকিউলার লেভেল সেলের মধ্যে চেঞ্জেস কামস। সো কন্ডিশন যখন অক্সিজেন ডিপ্রাইভ একটা সেলের মধ্যে ডিপ্রাইভ কন্ডিশনস হয়, তখন কিন্তু বাতাসের অক্সিজেন ইজ নট এনাফ। তাকে অ্যাডিশনাল অক্সিজেন না দিলে পরে তার মলিকুলার লেভেল বা সেলুলার লেভেল অবধি কিন্তু সেখানে আমরা রিচ করতে পারি না। আমরা জানি যে যদি সেই অক্সিজেন কন্ডিশনসটা না থাকে, সাপোর্ট না থাকে, then our all the functions, lungs and everything will not will work properly. So we need the extra support to overcome on that particular situations when a particular patient comes on that aspects, like particular situations like when she is reducing on the level of the oxygen percentage on 71, like 80 to 71 এর মধ্যে যখন নেমে যায়, so on that area we require to give the extra support, otherwise we will not be able to help them out, because it is the medical therapy.
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম। আমি
See
চাইবো
that there are concepts.
বল সৌমি।
হ্যাঁ, অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি বলছিলাম যে আমি চাইবো পরবর্তী কোশ্চেন চন্দন রয় করুন।
Okay. Thank you, Shomi. Ma'am, my next question is,
এক
what
মিনিট
happened?
চন্দন, সরি টু ইন্টারাপ্ট ইউ। এখানে
Yes, ma'am.
ইমরোজ আরেকটি কোশ্চেন করেছে। বাতাসে আছে 21% অক্সিজেন, যেটা আমাদের জন্য যথার্থ, তাহলে সেই যে সিলিন্ডার এর মধ্যে করে দেয়া হচ্ছে যে সেখানে কি পুরো 100% অক্সিজেন থাকে?
না মানে ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে দেখো অক্সিজেন যখন আমরা একটা সিলিন্ডারে নিই সো দেয়ার ইজ এন লাইক উই আর কিপিং অনলি দ্য অক্সিজেন বাট বাতাসে যখন অক্সিজেনটা থাকে দেয়ার আর দ্য মিক্সচার অফ দ্য ডিফারেন্ট গ্যাসিয়াস ম্যাটেরিয়ালস আর দেয়ার. So there is not the only the pure oxygens only are there. So there are the different other gases to it's there. But যখন আমরা একজন patient is there, so that patients when we requires the medical therapy, medical supports that require the pure oxygens, and we need it through the cylinder only. So that time our air oxygens are not a very specific oxygen concentrator or anything else that we are required to use. Otherwise, it cannot solve the problem.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, shall I ask? Ma'am, my next question is, what happen if we remove forest?
When we remove the forest, no, we cannot think. We cannot what happens, that question should not come, because we should not want to remove the forest, because the new concept is that if you want to like in the developing country or in the developed country, they are also taking this traditions or these rules, like if you wants to bring a particular project to sanction, you need to develop the artificial forest. So think about like the South America, they are working with an particular electricity projects that to bring a electricity unit. So they have to get the they can make the artificial forest. So we never think that we will remove the forest. Like forest, everyone we know that to like support our forest is very important. Like that forest ecology is a different. Like here the carbon sequestrations, everything in Kolkata, as we say, as we very nearby, there is a particular place, East Kolkata wetland area, and there are 12,000 hectares of land there, and that is having a great source of biodiversity and different types of plants and the plants and the animals are there. So if we lose that particular plant resource from there, then it will be a great loss. So this carbon sequestrations, the carbon like reductions from the environment, that things, and you know about the tropical forest too. Like there are the different types of the natural calamity and everything are the balancing are ultimately are maintained through the forest. We cannot think just to remove the forest. Rather, we have to think that how to create the artificial forest.
एक्चुअली मैम शहर में होता क्या है, हर जगह में आजकल फॉरेस्ट को काट कर उधर बड़े बड़े स्टोरेज बिल्डिंग में मल्टी स्टोरेज बिल्डिंग बनाया जा रहा है। उसी कारण लोगों में ये प्रश्न हरदम रहता है, उससे मैंने ओके मैम माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है,
हाँ,
डू यू हैव
क्योंकि
एनी
ऐसा होता
आइडिया?
ही है बहुत सारे जगह में जो
यस मैम, यस मैम,
बहुत सारी जगह में ऐसा होता है जो हम पेड़ को काट के बहुत काम करते हैं, बट वी शुड नॉट एनकरेज दैट थिंग, बिकॉज यू नो long like a tree, it cannot be substitute a small tree. So wherever it is a long 10 to 15 years or the 50 years old tree, we should not cut that tree, because that tree is a resource and a particular settlement for the different plants, different insects, and that also control the soil erosions. So that cannot be by a small tree. And most of the time we cut the tree, but we are not aware with one cut of the tree can be replaced with a small tree. So that if it's a old one, that is a 15 to 20 years old tree, cannot be substitute of a small. Never.
Seriously. Imro's like has another observation, a question as well. যদি যদি 100% অক্সিজেন না থাকে তাহলে না থাকে সিলিন্ডারে, তাহলে আমরা ফ্লো মিটারের মাধ্যমে কি করে তার মাপটা ঠিক করি?
See, this is the questions like it is totally a medical device oriented,
Yes.
because the doctors are deciding that how to they will put oxygen to the patient. Is that why we will do we have to think from this forum that we should not be depend on the oxygen cylinder. Why our mind is going on that way always? Like yes, if the patient are in a bad conditions, then we need to give the support. But why we are always thinking about the worst? Don't think about the worst, because we have a very good air like around us. Like in the time of the lockdown, yes, the air quality index is good. So we should think about the positive. I think so.
Actually, there is a reason behind that. That Imrose is working with the oxygen service so much. He is volunteering to the COVID
He's a great
patient with the
volunteer.
oxygen.
Okay, okay.
So,
Okay,
so
okay.
that's why
And that
he
is
is
a
asking,
totally
and he
depends
is
upon
very
that
much.
how the doctors will devising, how the doctors will be using that part.
So he's actually involved in this
Yes,
process.
this
That's why he is asking.
yeah, this
আগের
type of
যুগের গাছ কাটা নিয়ে বহু
typically it is
আন্দোলন হয়েছে।
happen. Hmm.
And again, আগের যুগে গাছ কাটা নিয়ে বহু আন্দোলন হয়েছে, যেমন চিপকো। আমার প্রশ্ন, বর্তমান সমাজে আমরা কি সেই আন্দোলন আবার শুরু করতে পারি? তার ওই জায়গায় তো এসছি আমরা।
নিশ্চয়ই পারি,
একদম পারি,
নিশ্চয়ই পারি,
আমাদের এখন
একদম।
ওই
মানে
জায়গাটাই আসতে
এটা
হবে।
প্রত্যেককেই লক্ষ্য রাখতে হবে। একদমই।
একদম।
আজকে আমরা এই ফোরাম থেকে এই তো আমরা নিশ্চয়ই প্রতিজ্ঞাবদ্ধ হচ্ছি যে এই ধরনের যদি একজন কারোর পক্ষে এত বড় এনভায়রনমেন্টকে রক্ষা করা সম্ভব নয়। চিপকো আন্দোলন করেছিলেন, হ্যাঁ, বহুগুণা উনি সত্যিই মানে উনি অনেক কাজ করেছিলেন, কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কেউ কেউ একজন, হ্যাঁ, সুন্দরলাল মনোবিনা, তো কেউ একজন কিন্তু এনভায়রনমেন্ট না, প্রত্যেকেই এনভায়রনমেন্ট নিয়ে চিন্তা করতে হবে। কারণ আমাদের এনভায়রনমেন্টটা তো আমাদের চারদিককে ঘিরে, মানে আমার ঠিক চারপাশের এরিয়াটাই তো আমার এনভায়রনমেন্ট। সুতরাং আমাকেই তো চিন্তা করতে হবে, শুধু একজন কেন চিন্তা করবে, মানে প্রত্যেকেই এনভায়রনমেন্ট অ্যাক্টিভিস্ট এবং এনভায়রনমেন্ট অ্যাক্টিভিস্ট প্রত্যেককে হতে হবে, এবং মনে মনে হতে হবে, এবং সেটা প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। এই অবভিয়াসলি যদি সেরকম যে কোনো ধরনের এনভায়রনমেন্টাল প্রবলেম থাকে, সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি লাইক কনসিয়াসলি ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি প্রোটেস্ট এগেনস্ট অফ দ্যাট, bring protest against of that is required. Like we have to save our environment. We have to keep clean up. We have to plant the tree. We have to maintain the tree. We cannot impose everything that government will do.
Exactly. We have a tagline. I'm remembering one tagline. We have a tagline against gender violence, that there no silence about violence. So here there is also the same issue. No silence about violence. Then cutting the trees is violence, and we must not silent like this type of thing. We can't stop our protesting thing.
Exactly.
We have to protest. We
cannot be silent.
No, we cannot be silent, and we have to protest those against those violence, against pollution, against environment as well. So again, okay, carry on, Chandan, if you have any
To
question.
save our environment.
Yeah, to
Yes.
save our environment.
Ma'am, my next question is: do you have any idea on how to minimize the use of plastic bag? Can you give the suggestion to us? It is very important for us as we are the
Yeah,
volunteer.
see, like, see, this is our habit. See, this is our habit that to whenever we come to the market, we ask to vendor.
Hello.
হ্যালো,
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. I think Madam Swati has some technical glitch.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yes, yes. Now you are
Is it
audible.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
yes
Yes,
yes.
ম্যাম।
ma'am.
Yeah, like
You are.
whenever we are going to any market or any shops, yeah, in any shopkeeper, so we generally have the we people have the generally habit to like demand for the plastics. They are not giving the plastics. We are demanding without plastic. We will not going to take your product. Give the product in the plastic. Give the plastics. This is our habit. Like in the so many days we have done, but now we have to leave that habit. We have to bring the bag that is already available in our home. We can keep the folded that bag in our just in handbag, that whenever we come from anywhere else that we have to shop, do the shopping, so just on that particular bag itself we will keep that thing. So that is the habit. If we can make it, then I think like the mask when we are using every day, so it makes us the habit. So if we can make these habits too, not to use the plastics or reduce the use of the plastics, so that we can do it very easily, because pupils, the human beings are the basically they are habituated for to do it. They are very adaptable. They can do it very easily. So they have that particular things and adapt this kind of like using not to use the plastics. But that mindset we need to keep. That mindset we need to bring, like not to use the plastics. Like if we can change that mindset, yes, ये हो जाए, कोई बात नहीं, हम इसे कर लेंगे ना। कोई जाके हमको बस मांगना नहीं है पैकेट, हमको कोई बैग लेके जाना है, जाके जस्ट वो बैग में खरीदना है, लेके आना है, वही ना कैरियर, तो कैरी तो करना है, तो वो तो कर ही सकते हैं हम।
ग्रेट आइडिया। एक्चुअली दिस इज अ ग्रेट एक्चुअली हमें जो है ये एकदम से ध्यान रखना होगा, याद रखना होगा। जैसे हम मास्क लगाते हैं, बाहर जाते हैं, मास्क डालकर जाते हैं, वैसे ही हम जैसे खाने, सबसे बड़ी बात, मास्क भी भूल जाते हैं। बहुत समय हम मास्क भूल जाते हैं, ठीक, लेकिन हम खाना खाना नहीं भूलते। जब हमें भूख लगती है हम खाना खाते हैं, हम पानी पीते हैं। तो ये जो जैसे हम खाना खाते हैं, हम पानी पीते हैं, वैसे ही हमको ये जो है इसको भी एकदम से अपने आप में डालना होगा, अपने मेमोरी में डालना होगा कि हम जब भी बाहर जाएंगे कुछ खरीदने के लिए, शॉपिंग के लिए, बाजार जाते हैं सब्जी लाने के लिए, तो हमें अपने साथ बैग भी ले जाना होगा। क्योंकि फिर क्या करते हैं, हम ही जाके शॉपकीपर्स के से ना वो प्लास्टिक बैग्स मांगते हैं कि आपके पास कैरी बैग है तो आप दीजिए। सो नहीं, क्योंकि इससे क्या हो रहा है कि हम शॉपकीपर से डिमांड करते हैं, तो वो जो है वो एकदम से लाइक वो भी सोचते हैं कि नहीं, मेरे जो ग्राहक है वो हमसे बैग्स मांगते हैं और हम उनको बैग्स प्रोवाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो इसलिए वो भी फिर बैग्स का अरेंजमेंट कर लेते हैं। इससे क्या होता है, वो फिर कंटिन्यू होता है डिमांड और सप्लाई का जो थिंग्स है वो। इससे प्लास्टिक बैग्स को हम कम नहीं कर सकते फिर ऐसे। अभी जो रिसेंट में जो मुंबई में, गुजरात में जो आया था साइक्लोन आया था, जिसमें कि उसमें वहां पे जो दिखा गया जो ओशियनिटिक जो प्लेट्स है, हाँ, वो सबसे मतलब पैसिफिक ओशियन में भी ये दिखा गया है कि वो सबसे गहरा ओशियन है, उसके भी नीचे प्लास्टिक्स भरे हुए हैं। सो वो प्लास्टिक्स कहाँ पहुंच गए, कहाँ कहाँ पे मतलब कितनी जो ओशियनिक जो वो होते हैं, जो क्रिएचर्स होते हैं, वो स्टे नहीं कर सकते उतने डेप्थ पानी में, वहां पे प्लास्टिक स्टे कर रहा है। तो थैंकफुल, मतलब हम सभी इतने मतलब लाइक पावरफुल हैं, हम सब ह्यूमन बीइंग कि हम लोग वहां पहुंच चुके हैं। हमारा जो एग्जिस्टेंस है वो एकदम ओशियनिक प्लेट्स तक पहुंच चुका है, एकदम डेप्थ तक हम पहुंच चुके हैं। सो ये नहीं, ये कोई
सही
गर्व
में।
की बात नहीं है, ये
और हम
हमारे लिए
कहीं भी
शर्म की
जाते हैं
बात
तो
है।
ये छोड़ के आते हैं।
एकदम, हम कहीं भी
हम
जाते
कहीं
हैं
भी
तो
जाते
अपना
हैं तो
वो
ये प्लास्टिक
सैंपल
जाते
छोड़
हैं।
के आते हैं, हम
तो
लोग
ये भी
अपना सैंपल छोड़।
करना नहीं चाहिए।
बिल्कुल। हम कहीं भी जाते हैं तो हम लोग अपना प्रमाण दे के
ये
आते हैं
भी
कि
नहीं
देखिए
करना
यहाँ पे
चाहिए।
हम। लेकिन ये नहीं
हम
करना
बहुत
चाहिए।
बच्चे लोग हम माउंटिंग में जाते हैं ना। हाँ।
एकदम नेचर को खराब कर रहे हैं हम लोग। ये कोई प्राउड वाला इशू नहीं है। इसे हम वहां पे जहाँ पे क्रिएचर्स नहीं रह पा रहे, वहां हम प्लास्टिक छोड़ के आ रहे हैं, प्लास्टिक वहां पहुंच जा रहा है। ये हमारी ही देन है, ये हमको समझना होगा, क्योंकि जो है हमें पृथ्वी में रहना है, इस अर्थ को हमको रहने
तो
लायक
देखिए
बना के
अभी तो
सस्टेनेबल
जैसे
बनाना है।
चल रहा है ना, अभी जैसे चल रहा है जो वायरस का स्प्रेडिंग जैसे हो रहा है, हमको जितना पता है, जितना अभी तक पता चल गया है, जो ये एनिमल सोर्स से हो रहा है, जो कोई कोई ना कोई चीज से, एनिमल सोर्स से ये वायरस आ रहा है। तो देखिए हमको जैसे ये चीज भी मेंटेन करना चाहिए। जैसे हम प्लास्टिक यूज कर रहे हैं, प्लास्टिक यूज करते करते हम एनिमल जहाँ पे रहते हैं वहां पे भी प्लास्टिक छोड़ के आ रहा है। आज आप मेरिन सोर्स में जा रहा है कहीं भी, वहां पे देखिए आप फिश के शार्क अंदर से हमको प्लास्टिक निकल रहा है। तो ऐसे टाटल के जो डाइसेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो उससे प्लास्टिक निकल आ रहा है। तो ये सारी चीज हमारे एनिमल्स को भी एग्जिस्टेंस में क्षति कर दे रहा है। तो वो भी हमको नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि उन लोगों का भी एग्जिस्टेंस हमारी इकोलॉजिकल बैलेंस के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि वो सारे चीज अगर ह्यूमन लाइक जितना एक्सपोज में आ जाएगा, ये डिजीज ट्रांसमिशन उठ पाएगा। तो इसलिए ये सारी चीज में हमको भी ध्यान देना पड़ेगा। जो कैसे हम यूज कर रहे हैं, कैसे उन लोग को भी ना कोई क्षति पहुंचाए, हम लोग को ध्यान देना पड़ेगा। अदरवाइज वेरी वेरी लाइक imbalancing the whole, like the system, like the total ecosystem that we have to keep.
Yes, of course. This is the total. This is the totally a system. We must maintain this system. केवल हम अपने बचने के लिए नहीं, हमारे साथ ये पूरा इकोसिस्टम है, फ्लोरा फोनास, डिफरेंट फ्लोरास, डिफरेंट फोनास, जिनके साथ हमको भी रहना, ये सब सिस्टम है। तो उस सब सिस्टम में हम लोग एक साथ एक दूसरे पर हम लोग रिलेटेड है, इंटर रिलेटेड है। तो हम सभी को ये सोचना होगा केवल हम बच गए, मेरा काम निकल गया। नो, दैट मस्ट बी सस्टेनेबल फॉर फ्यूचर एज वेल। सस्टेनेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए हर एक चीज की, वो हमें दिमाग में रखना होगा, ध्यान में रखना होगा। সৌমি দেখ এখানে ইমরোজ কিছু কোশ্চেন করেছে, ইমরোজ আছে, দেবজ্যোতি
Ma'am,
কি বলছে দেখ।
ma'am,
হ্যাঁ বল।
I
হ্যাঁ
have,
বল।
সরি বাট আমার কাছে শো করছে না।
ও ও
ma'am,
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ বল।
I have one question, ma'am. It's from myself. मैम, जैसे कि ऐसा होता है लगभग, मैं अपने कुछ फ्रेंड सर्कल में से ही बोल रहा हूँ कि उन लोगों को
हाँ बोल।
प्लास्टिक यूज करते हैं, लेकिन उनको नहीं मालूम है। जब हमें उनको कहते हैं कि भाई तुम रिसाइकिल कीजिए इस प्लास्टिक को, लेकिन उनको लगता है कि प्लास्टिक का रिसाइकिल से क्या होगा। तो मैं चाहता हूं कि आपका इस टॉक शो, मेरे दोस्त भी देख रहे हैं, आप उनको अगर कहते हैं कि प्लास्टिक को रिसाइकिल से क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, इससे उन लोग को भी आइडिया मिलेगा मैम।
हाँ देखिए, जो प्लास्टिक का रिसाइकिल से अभी बहुत कुछ बन रहा है। क्योंकि प्लास्टिक का रिसाइकिल से हम देख रहे हैं जो रास्ते का जो पेवमेंट है, जो जैसे न्यू टाउन साइड में आप जाओगे तो यू कैन सी दैट देयर इज एन पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम ऑफ मेकिंग द पेवर ब्लॉक थ्रू द प्लास्टिक्स। Like we can accumulate the plastics in a particular area, we can give the strengths, and we can make the paver block which can sustain on the floor itself, like the roads what we are making, no, so that can be made through the plastics. So that if it is there, if it is there, it cannot then like it can harm us. So we have to think innovatively to reuse that plastic so that we can make on that way. And in previously, as I was discussed, like there was using the plastic bottles. If you go to the Mandarmoni and you have seen that in this cyclonic time how it is being affected. So I have visited on that area and I have seen that every hotel are dumping a huge amount of plastic bottles. So that waste we have to think how we can reuse. So there we have to think that the plastic, from that plastic itself there is a different threads can be made that is also reusable for making the different t-shirts, and they are making the different permanent cotton threads from there. So like that way innovatively that the young generations, you people are like studying, you can innovatively think, you can do the entrepreneurial skills from there and do that markets and bring that markets to develop that sort of things, so that that plastic pollutions can be sort of reduced.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Uh, as my last question is that, ma'am, ये मेरे तरफ से है. As we are the NSS volunteer, NSS means National Service Scheme, and we believe in not me but you. On this regarding, I would like to ask you, ma'am, apart from all this question, we the NSS volunteer play an important role to dedicate ourselves for the society. So can you give a suggestion how can we protect the environment and how can we aware the people to protect the environment for the sustainable period?
See, that already I have given you that that particular things, like there in the like in the mid only I have given Dr. Chakraborty, because what they have already mentioned that we have to make a oath from here to see. In pandemic time we are not able to do the much NSS activity to the outside. So, and we are not encouraging to all to go outside and just go out like move around like previously how we was doing the service for the society. But the thing from we can think like in a like green thinking, that the, as I have shown you my presentations, like the life cycle assessment, how we can think from our house itself, and we can make a oath that to give maintain a particular plan from home itself, so that that can be keep forward for the next future days. So that we have to bring in the like in our mind. Okay, so that is the thing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
Exactly.
much.
Actually, Chandan, we have two more questions in the chat box. একটা হলো ইমরোজ জিজ্ঞেস করছে, অধিকাংশ মানুষ বলছে যে এই ঝড়, বন্যা, ভাইরাস এগুলো সবই প্রকৃতি তার প্রতিশোধ নিচ্ছে। ম্যাডাম, আমার প্রশ্ন কথাটি কতটা যুক্তিযুক্ত?
হ্যাঁ, যেটা যুক্তিযুক্ত তো অবশ্যই নিশ্চয়ই আমরা বুঝতেছি যে আগের থেকে অনেক বেশি কিন্তু এখানে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে অনেক বেশি এই ধরনের প্রাকৃতিক যে সমস্ত দুর্যোগ এটা কিন্তু বেড়েছে। সুতরাং আগে আজ থেকে 10 বছর আগে যে পরিমাণ হতো, এখন আমরা দেখছি the frequency is also increased. And if you see the real data, then you will also see that the rising of the sea level and also the different types of this the devastating effects, like how, as we are discussing about now, that the pollutions about the plastics, just you do study, like as you people are doing the NSS activity, you just move to the different from Digha to the Konyakumari, just to along with the coastal area. Then you just think and take the pictures that how much plastic pollutions are there in like the coastal areas. Then you can imagine that how much dumping we are doing in the coastal fronts. So that obviously it will reverse, it will give the reverse things to us, obviously. So nature will not take anything from us. So nature will give everything reflect to us. Whatever we are giving, we are imposing, obviously.
একদম। আর আরেকটি প্রশ্ন আছে, সেটি হলো দেবজ্যোতি মুখার্জি বলছে কিছু মানুষ পরিবেশ সম্পর্কে অবগত নয়, সচেতন করলে বুঝতে চাইছে না, তবে আমাদের কি করণীয়?
keep on trying, keep on trying. So like see, আমরাও কিন্তু প্রত্যেকে বুঝি না সব সময়, আমরাও কিছু ভুল করে ফেলি। সুতরাং আমি যদি আমার মানুষটা আমি যখন কিছু ভুল করে ফেলছি, if anyone just make me concerned that yes I'm doing wrong, so maybe that is only the thing we are saving the art. So if we can try for that, we can reach a bit of the portions, or we can save bit of the portions of the art. So never make too late. So we should start from today and now onwards to make that sort of things to control or to save the art.
Exactly. Of course we should, and the day that no, there is no any one fine morning. From now onwards, we have to take oath. From now onwards, we have to think, we have to move forward for saving our nature, for saving our mother earth, for saving our environment. So from now onwards, we have to take so many oaths from this platform that we have to plant tree, we have to dispose all the disposable things properly by keeping it, and we have to keep it our mind that for for 72 hours we have to keep it aside, and then we will dispose in a proper place. So these are the things we have to keep it in our mind. Show me, if you have any question you can ask, and then we have to wind up because the madam is continuous. There are actually so many questions, and Dr. Chakraborty has like again and again she is like answering. So show me, do you have
No,
any
no,
question?
all of you are very environment concerned. They are very interactive
Ma'am,
and they are
what
very
should
environment
we,
concerned.
ma'am, what
This
should
is
we
Thank
do
good.
you
to
so
Like we
decrease the
are
global warming?
able to impart.
thank you so much, thank you so much, Dr. Chakraborty. Show me,
Yes.
do you have any question?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Ma'am, what should we do to decrease the global warming?
See, the global warming is a alarming issues. Like every country, they are trying to like control this part. So they have in the last in the Paris conventions also that has been decided that to control that global warming part. Still, we are implementing like implementing different policies over that to control. Like we have to follow those, like to use to save the energy, like whatever the we are discussing from the beginning. That is alternatively will reduce the global warming. No, like to use or the keep on using the green sources, the rainwater harvesting, everything like in the policies like SDG, that's a sustainable developmental goal, whatever is there, that we have to keep follow on that. Then we can use, then we can reduce.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Exactly. Yes.
ma'am, bolun bolun.
Exactly, Dr. Chakraborty. We have to follow that SDG. Those are sustainable development goals, and of course, we have to think about our futures as well. Sustainability. আজকে যা আছে, যেই জলটা আমরা আজকে পাচ্ছি সেটাকে কালকে পাওয়ার জন্য কিন্তু আমাকে আজকে থেকে সেই কালকের জন্য ভাবতে হবে। এটা হলো সাস্টেনেবিলিটি। আমাদেরকে এই সমস্ত জিনিসগুলোকে ভেবেই এগোতে হবে আমাদেরকে। আর हमें ये कल के बारे में सोचना होगा, कल की सस्टेनेबिलिटी के बारे में सोचना होगा कि जो जो जिस पानी का जो यूज हम यूटिलाइज हम आज कर रहे हैं, उस पानी का यूज हम उसी हिसाब से कल भी करें, कल भी वो पानी हमें उसी हिसाब से मिले। इसके लिए हमें आज ही कल के बारे में सोचना है और आगे बढ़ना है। সৌমি, আর কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে? I think it's over now. তো নাও আমরা আজকের টক শোর
Ma'am, ma'am,
হ্যাঁ বল।
I have a question, ma'am.
Again. I think Madam Dr. Chakraborty has she has some technical glitch. Let us join. Let her join. হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে ওকে 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 Madam has some technical glitch and so we have to wait for her. She is coming. She's facing some technical glitch. She's coming. Yes. We have to wait our or Chandan, we can bind it up. Let's talk to her first. These are technical things. So nowadays we are totally depending on these are technical things. Nowadays we are totally dependent of these things. So we are so sorry to we have to wait for a minute. is facing severe technical glitch. So, Chandan, what was your question?
Ma'am, completed, ma'am.
Completed? Now,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you have any question, you can ask in this open forum. Then I can convey to her your question. So,
Ma'am, my question is this is not a question, ma'am. It like a pledge or the giving the message to the people. मैम दैट इज जैसे कि इन्वायरमेंट डे आ रहा है, मैं चाहता हूं कि मैम हमारे टॉक शो के माध्यम से लोगों के पास एक मैसेज कन्वे करे कि कैसे हम अपने इन्वायरमेंट और अपने इन्वायरमेंट को अच्छे से रख सकते हैं और उससे हमें सस्टेनेबल टाइम में भी थोड़ा सा हमें हेल्प मिलेगा। यही मैसेज मैम से सुनना था कि और भी लोगों के पास उनका मैसेज जाए, पहुंचे।
ठीक है, कोई नहीं। ये मैसेज हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म से हम ही दे देते हैं कि हम सभी को सचेत होना है, हम सभी को अवेयर होना है आज इस एनवायरमेंट डे के उपलक्ष्य में। एनवायरमेंट डे क्यों हम सभी आज इतने सीरियस तरीके से विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस को मना रहे हैं, क्योंकि आज जो है पर्यावरण के समक्ष हम सभी को आंसर देना है, पर्यावरण को हम सभी को बचाना है। तो पर्यावरण को अगर हमें सेव करना है, हमारे मदर नेचर को सेव करना है, और जिससे कि हम सभी सेव हो पाए, क्योंकि मदर नेचर पे ही वी आर डिपेंडिंग टोटली। सो आज चूंकि जब हम मदर नेचर पर डिपेंडिंग है, डिपेंडेबल है, सो वी हैव टू थिंक फॉर आवर फ्यूचर जनरेशन। So we have to keep it in our mind, and by following like 3 points जो है वो इस आज के डिस्कशन से बाहर आए हैं, जो कि सबसे पहला पॉइंट जो कि हमें लगा वो ये था कि हमें जो है आज ये कोविड टाइम पे हमें मास्क और पीपी किट और जितने सारे लाइक जो चीजें हैं जो हम कोविड के लिए प्रोटेक्शन के लिए जो हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, उनका प्रॉपर डिस्पोजल हमें चाहिए। उसका प्रॉपर डिस्पोजल कैसे है? जैसे कि अगर हम कोई मास्क यूज करते हैं, उसको हमको क्या करना है, वी हैव टू कीप इट 72 आवर्स असाइड, एकदम अलग अपने से, उसको एक पेपर में रैप करके हमें उसको 72 घंटे के लिए अलग रखना होगा, जिससे कि हम जो है उसको, जिससे कि वो फैले ना। जस्ट अ मिनट, मैडम इज कॉलिंग। हाँ बोलून, हेलो, हाँ बस जस्ट 2 मिनट, थैंक यू बोले जस्ट। हाँ ओके, मैडम इज ज्वाइनिंग। Welcome back, Dr. Chakraborty. Welcome back. Welcome back, Dr. Chakraborty. Yes, actually, Chandan was asking, no, there was a observation from Chandan Roy that कि इस मंच से उसे ये आपसे ये बुलवाना था कि कौन कौन की सो मेन मैसेज है इस हमारे टॉक शो का, वो थोड़ा सा सबके सामने आप अगर बोल दे। Am I audible? I think she has a severe technical problem. So, okay, then there must be a which is very much important protocol, Thanksgiving protocol. So, thank you as a convener of this talk show. Yes, I would like to thank to our college authority for giving us support and motivation for continuing this type of programs. And again, I am thankful to Chandan Roy and Shomi Mukherjee for hosting this session, hosting this talk show. I am very much thankful to the today's guest, Dr. Swati Nandi Chakraborty. She is an environmental scientist, and without her, this cannot be possible. And also, I am thankful to my all NSS volunteers supporting us continuously. And I am also thankful to all our viewers. Thank you very much for being with us. I am thankful Madam has joined. Uh, I'm also thankful to Miss Meholi Roy for her technical support. So thank you, Madam. Please, thank you so much, Madam, for being with us. I can understand that there must be some serious technical issue with you. So thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah,
Without you,
technical is, yes.
yes, yes, I
Sorry
can
for
understand.
interrupting.
No issue, because we are totally, nowadays we are depending on this thing only, and this is also the hidden part of, and we have to know, actually we can understand all these things. So thank you so much, madam, for being with us continuously. You have answered so well all the questions, you have attended so well. So thank you so much, and again thank you both of you, Mr. Chandan Roy and Ms. Shomi Mukherjee, for hosting this session very well. I conveyed my thanks to all of you, to my college authority, to Meholi Roy. She is supporting
And thank
technically.
you.
Yes, you're most welcome, madam.
And thank
So
you to all the like NSS group also, and the principal, and also Dr. Chakraborty, and the behind of this initiative. Really appreciate, and thank you for inviting me also to share my few thoughts among you people. And we should do some work for our environment from this also, from this NSS team also. Thank
yes,
you
of course.
all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Actually,
so much,
before
ma'am.
you, yes, हम दो तीन चीजों पर हम बात
थैंक
कर
यू
रहे
सो
थे,
मच
वो
मैम।
हैं वो 3 पॉइंट्स हम बोल के खत्म करना चाहेंगे। वो 3 पॉइंट्स हैं जो आज के टॉक शो से आया। पहली बात तो ये है कि हमें जो है डिस्पोजल जो है उसको ढंग से करना है, 72 आवर्स उसको अलग रख के फिर उसे डिस्पोज करना है प्रॉपरली। और फिर देन हमारा जो सेकंड जो आया वो ये था कि हमें प्लांटेशन करना है, हमें सैपलिंग्स लगाने हैं, जैसे कि हम अपने पेट का, अपने बच्चों का केयर करते हैं, वैसे ही हमको एक एक सैपलिंग आज इस एनवायरनमेंट डे पे हमें लगाना है एवं उसको टेक केयर करना है। उसका फोटो भी अगर हम अपलोड कर सके तो दैट विल बी वेरी ग्रेट फॉर अस। सो ये है एक पॉइंट। और उसके बाद जो है वो है सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात आती है, हमारे इकोलॉजी की बात आती है, हमारे इकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी की बात आती है। तो इस पे भी हमें क्या है, हमको आज के साथ हमें फ्यूचर का भी सोचना है, और हमें जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस हैं उनको फ्यूचर को दिमाग में रख के उसको इस्तेमाल करना है और आगे बढ़ना है। So with these 3 points, I think today's talk show covered these broad issues, these broad three, if I'm like forgetting something, so please pardon me. I think those three were the main issues of today's talk. And thank you so much, madam, for being with us. Thank you so much again, Chandan Roy, and
Thank
thank you all.
you. Thank you
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
also.
much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.